Begin in a kneeling position. You can use a pillow to find more comfort and make fists with your hands. Circle your fists in one direction 10 times. And the other direction 10 times. Big circles. Now flick your fingers out 10 times forcefully. Opposite movement, grab the air quite forcefully 10 times. Repeat that sequence. Circles with the fists in one direction 10 times. Opposite direction, 10 circles. Ten flicks. Ten grabs. And shake out your hands a little bit. Grab hold of one wrist with the other hand. Create that fist. And now again, 10 circles in one direction, but slower this time. Slow the movement down. Other direction. And switch sides. You can shake out your hands between switching sides. Grab hold of the wrist quite forcefully, create a fist, and 10 circles in one direction. Other direction. Place the hands on the ground in front of you, shoulders over wrists. You can bring your hands closer to your knees to make this easier, or a little bit further from your knees to make it more challenging. Keep your shoulders over your wrists as you lift the palms of your hands up while leaving your fingers on the ground, and then lower your entire hand back on the ground. 9 more times. Up onto the knuckles, back down. Now lifting the entire hand except for the fingertips off of the ground, and then hand back on the ground 9 more times. Hand up onto the fingertips, and then palm down. Fingertips, hand. And shake out your hands, take a little bit of a break. Now for all these exercises, you decide how hard it's going to be. You can make it harder in this example by shifting your shoulders further forward or moving your hands away from your knees. You can make it easier by having your hands closer or shifting your shoulders a little bit further away from your hands. We'll do that again. Now we'll alternate between the first exercise and the second. So move up onto the fingers and then fingertips. Fingers down, fingertips down, fingers down, fingertips down. Go at your own pace. And take a break from that. Step forward with one leg. Place your wrist or part of your forearm in your knee pit, and then close your thigh and calf together to clamp that wrist in place. Create a fist with that hand and create some circles in one direction, some circles in the other direction, and then open and close the hand forcefully. You may feel your hand closing on its own accord because of the pressure that the leg is applying on your forearm. And release your wrist, switch sides. Return your knee to the ground, other foot forward, slide your wrist or forearm into your knee pit, and find some way to apply pressure in that area, closing your leg on top of it. Create a fist with your hand and circles in one direction. And circle the other side, other direction. Now open and close the hand forcefully. And you might feel your hand closing by itself. That's totally normal. And free your hand. Place your knees back down on the ground. And now we'll create some extensions with our wrists. So moving the fingers up and down, up and down. You don't have to put your forearm out in front of you. You can leave in whatever way is comfortable. Okay, so we're just flicking the top of the hand up. Now with the free hand, apply resistance on the tops of the fingers and do that same movement, but keep some positive pressure between both hands the whole time. Move slowly. Maintain some pressure between both hands as you move in and out of this flexion and extension position. And give your wrist a little shake. Switch to the other side. Just find that range of motion first. So flexion and extension of the wrist. Then place some pressure on top of the fingers with the free hand and go through that same range of motion while maintaining pressure the whole time between both hands. Go slowly if you need to. And you get to choose how much pressure you keep between both hands. Shake it out. Next range of motion is this side-to-side movement, moving the hand towards the pinky side and then towards the thumb side. So that's the range of motion. And we'll go through that same range now with some resistance. So use your free hand to apply some resistance on the pinky side of your hand, and then go through that range of motion while applying some positive pressure between both hands the whole time. Make sure that the movement's happening in the wrist and not in the shoulder or the elbow. So isolate the shoulder and elbow and maintain pressure between both hands as you explore that range of motion. Shake out your wrists, other side. Find the range of motion first, swiveling the hand towards the pinky and the thumb, and then apply pressure with the free hand on the pinky side of that main hand and go through that same range of motion with positive pressure between the hands. Apply resistance through the whole motion in both directions. Just keep both hands pushing into each other as you move through that range of motion. And shake it out. Grab hold of one of your ankles with your hand. So you can grab hold of an ankle, turn away from that ankle slightly, and allow your ear to move closer to the far shoulder. So accentuating a stretch all along the side of the neck, down the arm, and of course through the wrist. You can lean away from that wrist and get a stretch all along the side of the body, into the arm, into the wrist. Turning away slightly and leaning the head away slightly, ear to shoulder. Breathe here. Return to upright position. Release your ankle with your wrist and with your hand rather, and go to the other side. So grab hold of the other ankle. Find a little bit of tension in that arm, rotate away from it slightly, and then tilt the head away from it slightly. Feel free to lean away from that wrist. Find the stretch, moving all along the trap, through the arm, all the way into the wrist. You can close your eyes and take a few breaths. And come back to an upright position. Release your ankle with your hand, and have a wonderful day.